Alrighty, what's going on, guys? It is Killer Drone, and welcome back to the Killer Drone channel. Today we're going to be covering more Fortnite. In particular, we're going to be covering, well, actually, we're going to be covering a lot of stuff in today's videos because all of it is tied together, so I figured I'd just throw it in one big video. Today we're going to be covering defenders, survivors, and squads. So let's go ahead and let's start off with the easiest, the survivor. What are the survivors? There are two types of survivors in this game. One is found in missions, and they are used to give you more XP. Basically, they are the mission. You go out, you help the survivor, you find the survivor, and they give you XP for you to use on your hero or to use on your guns. Then there's a second type of survivor, which are also equally important, and they are gotten from loot llamas, and they are used to buff your power and make your squad stronger. Don't worry, we're going to talk about the squads here later. I just want to go ahead and mention it here. Some survivors are only found in missions. Your other survivors that are gotten from loot llamas, they go into your squads. There are two different types of survivors, but they are the same at the same time. Kind of confusing, I know, but just roll with it for a second. Then you also have your defenders. What are your defenders? Your defenders are your allies that you can summon to help you out on missions. These are actual NPC type players that can help you fend off your base, and they are kept in your hero squad for you to summon if you need them. Now, let's go ahead and cover the most complex part of this video and probably what's going to take the longest, the squads. There are two types of squads that we know of in the game. There is the hero squad and there is the survivor squad. So let's go ahead and let's start with the hero squad. Basically, this is a mechanic that lets you place heroes and defenders in different supportive roles in order to give you a buff while on missions. We aren't sure exactly how this works yet, and my alpha sources also won't let it spill because of the NDA. But let me go ahead and tell you what we know so far. Before you start a mission, you can pick a hero squad, and the first slot is going to be your main hero that you play as. The other two slots are going to be filled with other heroes. The way that Darren Suggs, the creative producer, explained this was that the two heroes that were not being used would add 20% of their value in offensive and health onto the hero you are using, as well as you can get some buffs. Now, we've since learned that these buffs are actually given by the defenders that you slot in, but we'll cover that in a minute as well. Now, the extra two slots are specific as well, as one is a tactical slot and the other is a supportive slot. The dev stated that the heroes that you are putting in these slots will have a tactical and a supportive ability that you can give to the main hero. So this brings up an interesting point. Basically, what you can have is a character that has a good tactical ability and a really good supportive ability, but because it can only fit in one of these slots, it forces you to choose which one you would like, whether you would like it to give you the tactical slot and give that ability, or if you would rather have it give you the supportive slot and that ability. So I feel like that's a very interesting mechanic that I would love to see exactly how it works, and I guess we'll see here fairly soon with the game releasing here very, very soon. Also, the buffs that we mentioned earlier are gotten by your defenders and your survivors. Basically, you put your defenders into the hero squad as well. They're in a separate slot, and these defenders can be summoned, and from what we understand so far is you can actually get a little bit of benefit from these defenders too, but we're not exactly sure how much. Like I said, the NDA is very closed right now, and people are actually not willing to share this information. There is another type of squad, though, and that is the survivor squad. Think of this as another way to build up your character. Your survivor squads are broken up into multiple smaller squads, such as the EMT squad, the training team, fire team alpha, and the close assault squad, which is basically all of the squads that we know that are confirmed so far. There could be many more, but those are the 4 that we have confirmed. There could be more squads, but like I said, we just don't know what's going on, and they could give a variety of boosts. So let me go ahead and talk about that for just a second. Basically, for example, the EMT squad gives a health boost to the player. The Fire Team Alpha squad gives a damage boost to the player. And the more defenders, or the more survivors, you have slotted, the bigger the health boost and the bigger the damage boost that you have. So slotting your survivors that you get from your loot llamas in is going to be huge because they can potentially completely change how you play your character, because you could have more health, you could have less health, you could have more damage, you could have less damage. It's going to be a really interesting aspect that we're going to have to play around with and see exactly how it works and what works best in these slots. As I've stated before, these are the survivors that you will not find in the missions. These are only the survivors that are gotten from the loot llamas that can be slotted in here. I just want to make sure that you guys understand that before you guys are like, oh, I went on these missions and found all these survivors, but I don't have any survivors. That's because these are the survivors that are gotten from loot llamas. There are two different types. I just want to stress that here. But that's all I have for you guys today. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, go ahead, leave a like on the video. If you did not like the video, go ahead, leave a dislike. That's fine with me. Also, if you're new around here, go ahead, subscribe. I would love to have another member here. Guys, we are closing in on 700 subscribers very, very quickly, and I cannot say how much I appreciate that. And anyway, guys, that's going to be it for me today. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you in the next one. You have a great day.